channel. Today we are going to be reviewing Knock at the Cabin. Um, this reminded me of a Jordan Peele movie. It was more so at the end when they were in the car and they turned on the music from like back when they were like happy and everything, and they were just like turn it off, turn it back on. It's just like, they've gone through this horrible thing, and then this lighthearted song that like brings back so many memories comes on. And it just kind of makes you want to laugh. At the same time, it's just like, what on earth kind of feeling. So this movie, I was really excited about it. Saw Ron Weasley, and I was like, we need to watch this. I don't think I've seen Rupert Grint act in any other movie other than Harry Potter. But I thought, even though he was like on screen for a few like minutes, that he did very well. This was such a diverse cast. The one of the husbands in the movie, I had just seen them in a film with what's his name? It's called Spoiler Alert, and the guy who acts Sheldon, he is in a relationship with him and he develops cancer, but like that's the last movie I saw him in. Completely 180, completely different like persona. And I think he's a brilliant actor thus far. Um, so this movie, we start off, we're already at the cabin. The little girl's catching grasshoppers, and I don't know his name. The guy from Guardians of the Galaxy comes up, and he's like talking to her and everything, and then like things start to take a turn. The other people start to come, and he's like explaining sort of that the parents are gonna have to make like a tough choice and everything. He's learning more about her as she's kind of questioning what's going on. She's at an age, I think, where like she's aware of what's going on, and also she is very frightened by it. And so she runs into the cabin, and her two dads are there. And we come to find out that these four people, who I guess end up being the four horsemen of the apocalypse, I'm not sure. That was just kind of like they started throwing around like theories towards the end that I think were just to explain things to us. There was like a lot of things that happened towards the end that I think were just for our benefit and not really for the benefit of the movie. And I was just like, does that really need to be stated? I think we could have figured it out if it just was left unsaid, or we could have developed our own theories about it. I think that would have been great. But I think they were just saying stuff because they were trying to make sense of it all, and also like so that way we could put the pieces together. And so the people did not know that it was a gay couple. And it was like their first gay couple, but at the same time they made it seem like, and I think it would have been a better movie in some aspects if they had done this before, but apparently they were just kind of chosen at random, and knew that they had to like kill themselves and everything. They were seeing visions and everything. um I kind of would have liked for it to be more a movie where we saw things like happening, like there was more exposition on the family, on these people in the beginning, because seeing like snippets of like their past like randomly throughout the movie, I just didn't feel really worked for it. And there was that one scene with Rupert where apparently he was the guy who like beat up one of the guys at the bar and everything, and we kind of see like instances of it, and I kind of wanted to know like maybe why it was him who ended up being at the end and he didn't recognize the guy. Um or that was just like a random coincidence, maybe. I don't think at the end, like, this is one of those things I think they just kind of like had to show us. We're in the car and like they see the lady's nursing ID, and for some reason the guy's like degree, and then the lady with her son, like, I believe that she brought a photo of her and her son because she knew that was gonna happen. I don't understand why the lady brought her nurse. I don't, like, if she was gonna show it and be like, yeah, I'm a nurse, that would have been like, if you're gonna have these people believe you, I would have brought evidence like, hey, this is who we are, and the evidence was left in the car. So it seems like that stuff was brought for them, just kind of to like look at themselves and have themselves, kind of just random stuff like that were like evidence that they were who they were, and I thought that would have been very beneficial to bring, and so that way they could like show them. But again, I think that was just for us to be like, hey, it was real, you know? But at the end, I think I'm like, we know it's real because we ended up going to that one place and seeing on the TV like this all happened. There's all these people and everything. So obviously it happened at that point. And I think that um there was instances where like the guy mentioned like that he saw things like on the TV and like, oh, that it was pre-recorded and everything. Like, I think that that's like a fair assumption, you know. But I never saw the thing on the TV. And then at the end he was like, how do you know what they were going to say? I'm like, if you already assumed that they had pre-filmed this and they had seen this, like, you would already know why he would, like, if you already have that assumption. And then in the end he like says that he believes his husband, which I think he's just saying just to say that the husband, like, from the beginning, like, is like saying like, I saw something, and I don't know, that's like due to his concussion or like because he was like chosen like at the end to like see something so that way, like, you know, he could save the world. And the guy like just willingly like shot him and everything, so he must have believed something. um I mean, but at that point, I think he had seen the plane fall like from the sky when they were outside. I mean, they don't let them go outside, but they should have been like, look, you know. I don't know. um, I think the one of the husbands like had severe anger issues, and I think that was like something they should have played on more in the movie. Like, they were probably having issues or something. Because like this guy, like, you know, you can tell from like the beginning that he's like, do not address my husband, that not that, like, do not address my husband, period, and like only talk to me. And you can tell his husband kind of like, you know. So I'm like, that's even like at the last points of your life, it's still not okay to like talk to them that way, you know. um so I think there was kind of underlying things going on. Maybe that's why they took this whole trip, but again, I would have liked to see seen it more expedition on that. um what else can I say? I thought it was a decent movie. It was not my favorite movie. I thought it was pretty good in terms of like at the beginning, like thriller, um but like a thriller movie, but at the end of it, I was just kind of left like being like, okay. And I know it's like a really highly anticipated movie, but I don't know. I just felt like it just needed more. Um, I think the whole like it's like they're a gay couple, and like um I think it was Andrew like was really mad. Like, you know, like, we can let the world suffer, you know. They've been like so mean to us. It's like that metaphor for like how society, you know, views and isolates people specifically from the LGBTQ plus community, and like that anger of like, they don't care about us, you know, why should we care about them? And that like messes morally with like the idea of like, you know, saving the world and all these different people. I feel like the news was kind of just like nonchalant, like about like stuff happening at first, so that I didn't believe it. I thought this was like something like they were making up. I mean, I didn't know how the movie was gonna end, you know, and so it could have been like all a hoax. And then like these four people they met on the internet and they were having these visions, and I don't even know how they met on the internet, and like the guy changed his name, and so it could have been this whole big thing, and maybe they didn't know. Maybe there was like somebody like, you know, running the strings behind the scenes, and like So I don't know, like when the first earthquake hit and everything, we're just kind of like, okay, like, you know, they just kind of like are pretty placid about it. Like I would expect more, like, I don't know, like I've seen too many world ending type movies, and like them, like, you know, reporting about it and everything, for it to just kind of like be what it was and fall flat. It just didn't feel very convincing to me. It wasn't until like the end where I was like, okay, that seems legit now, because like so much stuff was happening, obviously. Like then you could see like it was one news thing after the other. I don't know how they got the footage from the tsunami. Like the guy was like drowning. Like, you know, like how did they get that? Like, so like they were like recording like instances before the tsunami happened, and then the guy got like washed up like in the water, and I assume he drowned, because like I don't know how they found this camera and they found this footage, like footage coming in. Like, how are you, this guy's dead at this point. So yeah, overall, I think it's a decent movie. I would recommend, you know, watching if you wanted to. It's definitely something, I'm not gonna say different, but very interesting. And I just feel like I looked forward to it. And I watched it, and it just wasn't exactly like what I always say it's not exactly what I expected, but yeah, but I really honestly don't have too many expectations for movies sometimes. It's more so like it didn't hit right. Like it just kind of seemed like a bigger thing than it was. But overall, decent movie. And yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all real soon. Bye.